All right, shalom, shalom. We the brothers from Great Millstone, Atlanta, coming back at you with spirit with another lesson. First and foremost, we'll give all praise going on to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kadash.
double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach well, peace, love, and salutations to the men out there doing this work with truth and sincerity. And basically, we came across this article. It's about the Fed Now app, and it's the Federal Reserve Bank is now going to be issuing out digital currency nationwide, and this digital currency is going to be tied to a Fed Now app, and I think we're going to get it. Well, I don't think it's in this article, but it's in another article. By May of 2023, they said they want to have it fully implemented throughout the whole U.S. Now, in order to buy or sell anything, you're going to have this app. So we're gonna get to Revelation 13, but I want to start off with that Micah.
It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
So you see, and who right now has the power? Who is in control of the earth right now? Okay. Is it not Esau, Edom? Is it not those top families, whoever they are, that are in a position of authority, dictating everything throughout the rest of the world? Aren't they using America as their strong arm to go into all of these other nations? Who's running all this stuff? You see? So this wickedness that's about to come upon us, where everyone loves the apps that comes on these phones. These apps, are dangerous. Mm-hmm. All right. They're not just some simple little toy. Social media has destroyed people's minds. You see? And it has a lot to do with these little apps. And now they're about to issue that app to where you can't buy or sell unless you have it, and you have to participate because they're going to phase out the dollar completely. The paper dollar is going to be gone. You got it.
Just like they phased out the gold standard. Mm-hmm. These things intricately happen over time, but the scripture says the vision is for an appointed time. Mm-hmm. And this next step, you have to consider the fact that the brother who spoke about America being the one that stumps the earth, but the Roman Empire, which America is a part of the Roman Empire, is the last empire to rule before Yahweh Shah returns. So this is why we're preaching Yahweh Shah. According to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, the great millstone, broke the toes, which is the NATO and EU, including America, and the kingdom of heaven was established. So we're hastening the time right now. That's how we know what time we're in. All right. You had some more, Micah.
That was it on that verse.
Let's see here. It says, no, it's actually a little bit more. Verse 2, it says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
You see, and they started off doing that shit to the Israelites, man. They did that to us first. They took our heritage and they took our land. And they told the world that they was us, and now the world finding out that they ain't us, and they doing it everywhere else they go. That's why you when you read in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter, it says, I think it's like the 4th verse, it says, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, but heapeth unto him all nations, roughly paraphrasing. You see, he can't be satisfied. This dude is like a black hole. You see? So these other nations are being oppressed because what does he do? I just started. A brother had put me up in this video, and I'm watching the video, and he's talking about he's a Middle Eastern guy, and he's talking about how they understand how America literally used their policy to destroy their nations to get their resources. So you're oppressing a man in his land and his heritage. You turn their land into a wasteland. You see what I'm saying? That's what America does. You go into these nations and you turn them into wastelands. You see? So you've done it to Israel. You did it to us first, and now you're doing it to the rest of the heathen. But they was with it when it was just us. When it was just us, everything was cool. But now they're doing it to everybody. They're doing it to their own people. They're doing it to all the other nations, and everybody finding out about it. But you got it out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, Con. There's another scripture you want to go straight to Revelation.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, Con. It's see here if it's some more in this.
I think that was it.
Yeah, that's it. So we can go to Revelations, and we can get some Greek. We can pick at the bone of it. So I can should one bird. All right, Revelations. It's the Revelations, the 13th chapter. In verse 13. I'll start at verse 12 and run through it and touch up on chief points. It says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before. Of course, the first beast being the Roman Empire, and the deadly wound was healed, being the reestablishment of Rome. That's why you look up the Treaty of Rome. These nations consciously came together to reestablish the Second Roman Empire. All right. It says, and it reads, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. Of course, this was established during the time of World War II. Likewise, during nuclear tests, so on and so forth, in the Cold War, that the power of the destruction of this man through his blessing, the sword, by the way, being Edomites, is made manifest and bold through the thermonuclear missile. All right. Yeah. The earth had never seen destruction in that magnitude before. All right. It says, that's why I said, make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. And they saw that. Verse 14, it says, and deceive of them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. We were just reading about the democracy. Oh, pardon me. We were watching the video. You brought up the video on how America goes to these different nations pushing democracy. Whenever you hear democracy, well, you hear somebody's a republic of this, that comes from what? The Roman Republic. That's where that comes from, the Roman Republic. Whenever you hear democracy, where does democracy come from? That's not a European concept. It comes from America, man. All right. It says, let's see here. I'm going to go to verse 15. It says, no, pardon me, I'm going to continue 14. It says, which had the wound by the sword and did live, reestablishment of Roman Empire.
Do they Renaissance?
Renaissance, yeah. Rebirth. Yeah. Verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image is the system. All right, and what do you mean the system? Well, the jurisdiction of the policy of America. As going to democracy, going into republic, their agenda is pushed in these land masses. All right, even monarchies like Saudi Arabia, they still push that witchcraft, man. All right. It says on verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
And that's coming soon. That's coming real soon because, everybody, we about to see. We about to see who really meant what they was talking about. Because it's game time now. With this new Fed Me app. And after this brother finished reading his precept, we're gonna read this article. This Fed Me app. This is it. It's gonna get to a point to where they're gonna phase that in, and then once it gets so far, and they got everybody on it. Now you're gonna need to see him. You got it, huh?
Come on, verse 16, and it says, and he causeth all. And when you go into that term, cause is essentially means and he makes.
Yeah.
All right. It says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
And you see, one of the most foolish things that I consistently hear when I hear men talk about from other camps,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about and other like Christians and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and these different descriptions of what they say, what they think the mark of the beast is, or it's an embargo, or it's Christianity, or they just come up with these different things. But there's a critical component, very specific thing.
Yeah.
That it says, very, very specific. He says he causes all, both small and great, free and poor, rich and bond, to receive a mark that they might buy or sell. I might have butchered that last part a little bit.
Which
So-
we're gonna get into that.
So you need it in order to buy or sell something.
Yeah.
You cannot perform a business transaction unless you have this.
Yep.
You cannot engage in commerce unless you have this.
Including e-commerce, especially e-commerce. That's why they put everything digital.
Exactly.
Online.
So what do you mean that it's not? And the word charagma.
Oh, we got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the full Hellenistic or Greek breakdown for this word, because the term mark is a word that you can't just read and just skip over it. You have to dig into it. That's actually what the mark is. It's a digging. But the term charagma, of course, is the original Greek word for that context, which means thing carved, graven work. All right. Now, the word charagma comes from the root word essence of charax, which is a pale, stake, a palisade. These are the meanings. And charax comes from a Greek word grapho, which means to write. And for those who don't have understanding, that pale, that stake, is that instrument used to incorporate the ticket, man. All right, which is the charagma. All right. It says so grapho meaning write, record, give directions. So they're going to control your minds. They're going to give you directions. A GPS system will be inside of you, man. All right. Your records, the writing coincides to your records, man. All right. Meaning your name, all of your DNA. They're going to have an understanding and manage your DNA.
And see, and it's crazy too that word is grapho, because that's where you get graphene from. You see? Yeah. And graphene is a tool, it's a metal
oxide
that is it's super conductive.
Yeah.
It's a two-dimensional metal that has three-dimensional properties. It says virtually bulletproof. It can rebuild itself inside of you. So you can absorb so much graphene, and they can tell it to rebuild itself. And they can use that thing that CHIP that they put in you to perhaps to control you.
They're gonna merge together. These devices are gonna merge together. This man he's far out there. He's literally trying to be God.
So at this moment, I'm gonna go ahead and read this video. This article.
Okay.
I'm gonna share that.
Yeah.
All right, so this article is from the federalreserve.gov. And this is just, I'm just going to read like the very first, paragraph. It says, the Fed service will be available to, the Fed Now service will be available to depository institutions in the United States and will enable individuals and businesses to send instant payments to their depository institution accounts. So basically, what they're saying when they say depository institution, they're talking about banks. Okay, they have these linguistic people that use colorful terms so that the average person may be thrown off of what they're saying and not understanding that these depository institutions are actually banks. Okay, and these are all banks. From Bank of America to Chase to your mom and pop bank, all banks have signed on to this because guess where all banks get their money from? All banks get their money from the Fed. Okay? The service is intended to be a flexible, neutral platform that supports a broad variety of instant payments and the fundamental at the most fundamental level, everything from the most basic level to the most far out there, whatever you're trying to do, everything, anything that cash would do, this will do.
It's going to be a device.
You see?
It's going to be a device.
And this is straight from the Fed.gov website. All right. And it says the service will provide interbank clearing and settlement that enables funds to be transferred from the account of the sender to the account of the receiver in near real time and at any time, any day of the year. Depository institutions and their service providers will be able to build on this fundamental capability to offer value-added services to their customers. The Fed Now service will be designed to maintain uninterrupted 24/7, 365 days processing with security features to support payment integrity and data security. The service will have 24-hour business day each day of the week, including weekends and holidays. End of day balances reported to the Fed, accounting records for each participating depository institution on Fed Services Business Day. Access to intraday trade credits will be provided to participants in the Fed Now service during business day under the same terms and conditions as for other Federal Reserve services. So this man is saying that this shit is going to take over everything.
Yeah.
And he's going to give certain perks. And basically what he said end of day balances will be reported to the Federal Reserve for records of each participating. So that means all of your personal records and all of your spending habits at the end of each business day, everything that you spent that went through this particular bank is going to get reported back to the Fed.
This is something that we can't deal with. That's why the Lord is going to make the man the Lord. Yeah, you got to get ready to be a soldier, man. Whether you were brothers or not. Hey, you're not going to be able to live in your apartment, your house, your condominium. If you're not able to pay these transactions, you're going to have to be able to hold it down 10 toes. So you got to gird up in the spirit, man. To be homeless, to be in all type of situations, man. All right?
Yeah, the brother's absolutely right because things are about to get shaked up. Like, the bishop of our camp say all the time, man, he said, we ain't even got to the hard part yet. He absolutely right. We still in pretty much the easy part. The hard part ain't even kicked in, but it's about to. And that's why I said earlier, we about to see who really about it. Because the shit about to hit the fan. It's really about to hit the fan. You got any get more on that?
Yes, I think it's just a tad bit more on this. It says, and that no man, verse 17 of Revelation, the 13th chapter, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the number of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, which that 666 is what you consider 666. All right, but in the Greek fashion, it is high side stigma. All right, now this is why we say it's important to go into the Hebrew and the Greek, because this language has coded signs. All right. So, for instance, this gives you further understanding of what really is the MOTB and what's not. All right. So the Chai going into foundation, meaning foundation, which is that graphene is a part of the foundation. That's actually the foundation word of Charagma. The foundational word for Charagma is grapho. It's not grapho. Yeah. All right. So the Xi, which is a surgical instrument. What is the surgical instrument? What surgery means is going to cut it. All right. So what cuts? The device that shoots out the Charagma. The
Rocks.
The Charax. What it is? It's the Charax. That's what it is. All right. Coinciding the same thing. The side coincides to the Charax. All right. And then, these are really matched up. These are matched up perfectly.
Yeah.
The Chi max up with the grapho. The Xi max up with the Charax. And the last not least, the stigma, which coincides with the Charagma, which stigma means cutting, all right, which is the implanted MOTB. You know what it is, man.
So, yeah, man. So, like, we basically here, man. I'm gonna bring out a quick one. This is Isaiah 10, and it says, "Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievances which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless." And see, everything that this man does is under righteous decree, man. How you gonna put something like that, out there to force people to do what you want them to do? If you don't have it, then you can't participate in anything in society. The men of the Lord, we gonna be like, all right, bet, because we don't want this world anyway.
Yeah.
The men of the Lord don't want this. We want the kingdom.
Yeah.
We want to see you in your rightful place. Mm-hmm. Like it says, I believe in Revelation 13 and 10. That's where we want to see you at, in your rightful place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you've done too much, man. You've done way too much. Unrighteous decrees, man. You can't even live in this world.
I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans chapter. That's why we are not, the scripture says, ye are from beneath and we are from above. And it says, I am from above. Yahushua was talking to them people who were coming up against him. And really, we're not of this world. Our life isn't for it, because you say you can't even live in this society. So what do we live for? What are we living for? Well, this is Romans the 14th chapter, the 8th verse. It says, "For whether we live unto the Lord." So we live for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's why our conduct, it was the Agath and the Strophe, the holy conversation, which goes into upright conduct, man. All right, character, class. Stability. Where's that stability coming from? It's coming from the wisdom. All right. It says, "And whether we die unto the Lord." So our life, our death, the cross in which we bear, it's all for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because he took those 3 hours to the chin, and so we respect and commend him for that. All right. And if you be a follower of Yahushua, you likewise will have to go through persecution. All right. It says, "Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua." All right, so we're internally dead to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. How do we show that the prayer to that dead? By loving thy brother as you love yourself. You can't say you love Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but you don't love your brother who you see every day. All right, you have to have. No, you can't fake it. Okay, you might have. put on a smile in front of a brother and you give him a shalom. But what about when Yahweh Shai know your heart? And when Jacob trouble here, it don't matter how good you made something sing. It matter about what was in your heart, because he know the heart. That's why he chose David. And if you are the tabernacle of David, then you're supposed to have an upright heart, a pure mind, all right, which comes through what? Repenting, fasting, all right. Charity builds up your spirit, all right, builds up your faith, all right. That's it on that.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we just wanted to really just touch real quick on that. I ain't really got no more precepts.
Likewise, that's powerful.
So, we gonna go ahead, just basically giving a little mark of the beast, update.
Yeah.
Because it's here now, man. We here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and end it off by giving all praise going on to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash.
That belongs to the elders of the house of great men. So until next time, we say shalom.
Shalom.